go.
Employee.
You know, I had to do the research to find this shit. So, the first time we ever seen simping was in the New Partridge Dictionary of Slang in the Unconventional English. It defines shortened as simpleton. Now, you got SIMP and a lot of shit like simpatico, you know what I'm saying, simply, whatever the case may be, but it just means being amicable, being too friendly. Now, in the New York Times, the first time that the term simp was put into text was to describe a simpleton. So the phrase originally is rooted in calling a person stupid.
You got some years in there?
Yeah, stupid, 1923. Now, the dictionary listed first usage in 1946. Now, the term appeared in 1923. The definition came in 1946. Now, the most recent entry dictionary is in 2000 in a book called My Once Upon a Time by a British novelist. It's a Nigerian, Darren Odebois. Simp appears 2 times in 20 pages. Now, he's saying this. Simp would have been used in the old school way, he said. No other way it's been, not the other ways it's been used, but it's to describe a soft kind of man who is very soft to his female friends. The newer sense of the word as an insult for being soft or being only sympathetic to women became more prominent in the 1980s and in the early 90s with West Coast rappers who regularly addressed pimping, including UE, the MC, Too Short, E40.
So this is a man's view.
That's a great definition.
So that is but that's also that's a man's view.
No, what he said it was key is you reserve your sympathy for women.
Yes.
Now that's one thing I can say that does define it, because like even the homies, you know, we got brothers in here that's married the whole nine. We have never held women to a lesser accountability standard than men, and that I feel like that makes us unique as a crew. We don't take it. Now, granted, we are all gentlemen. Ain't nobody in this, at least to my knowledge, ain't no woman been around us and not been treated to the highest level of her womanhood. But at the same time,
we're gentlemen.
Yeah, at the same time, we're not accepting no bullshit just because you're a woman, and we're not accepting your word being broken and giving you a passes because you're a woman. So to me, that's standing firm. So we're not simple.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Safe House, a podcast based on exploring masculinity from various perspectives. Masculinity seems to be defined by others with outside agendas. There's a need to have safe space conversations that everyone is allowed to witness. There have been certain misnomers that propel societal groups to assume that masculinity is a pejorative. We would like to invite the listeners into a judgment-free zone as various topics on the subject of masculinity are explored, researched, and expressed.
Welcome to another episode of The Safe House.
Yes, sir. Episode 6.
With brother Musab Yassir Bey, a.k.a. Freddy Jones, a.k.a. the Blue Collar Scholar.
And his brother Interesting.
And we're here today because we want to talk about something that's prevalent in every family. And we ain't talking about dope fiends. We're talking about simps. And there's probably a few in every family. But before we get everything started, we want to ground the episode like we do every episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we get a lot of caustic feedback saying, well, what's the solution?
Yeah,
well, what's the solution? You know, being real crass.
Yep,
but every episode we started off with the same mantra. So we're going to go off with this. We want to underscore the colluding forces of black males' incessant oppression by highlighting the metastasizing effects of white supremacy and the stringent nature of anti-black male misandry in America. To employ black men to liaise politically, economically, and socially with each other, as a duty to young black men and black boys to strive to create a countervailing force against our suppression, oppression, and social stigma. Now, I'm a black masculinist in this space. That means I advocate for the right and needs of black men.
I'm waiting for the day you memorize that.
Yeah, one day I will, but you know.
Yeah,
but
sure.
And as the biblical pericope states in Matthew 25:40, whatsoever you do to the least of your brothers and sisters, you do unto me. And since we're the bottom caste of the bottom casted, that's black men, that serves as the dialectic of my interest. So, let's set it off.
I mean, and you know the I guess much more shortened mantra. Generally, you know, for the support of black prosperity, black love, and doing that through the advocacy of black males, which I consider to be, you know, an endangered species among humans. So
we're looking to turnkey this particular episode into other episodes, hitting barbershops, cigar lounges for black men, black male advocacy to open up discussions. Now, the first couple of episodes we dealt with feminism, patriotism, or the law of covenanture, and then, you know, we get a lot of feedback about the problems and the solution. Today we want to have an in-house, mic'd up huddle about what goes on in our community. And one of the things is simping. Now I want to we got brothers today with us, you know,
for sure,
because this is what we do this shit for the brothers.
Yeah, and you know, to piggyback on that, that came about from a conversation me and brother Musab had, where we were basically kind of discussing how, you know, the impacts of making poor decisions when it comes to the dating world or the dating sphere, and you know, you end up mortgaging your wallet for some years, and you didn't have to do that. And so there's, you know, opportunity, you know what I'm saying, and hearing different people's perspective so that you can, you know, help navigate that world a little better. And so some of y'all, you know, you make decisions and they're very simple. Like,
now look, man,
you can recover from simphood. You can recover.
The simp life goes a long way back, right?
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
It comes from this matriarchal structure we in. But I want to get a running definition because we got brothers in the house with us today. Now, what simp is to me,
yeah, for sure,
is brothers who are socialized to validate their manhood through the views of women. Every step you take, everything you do, whether you married or you single, it goes off the views of a woman. Your manhood is validated through the eyes of a woman. Now, you got married simps who let mamas and mother-in-laws dictate what goes on in their house, on how they run their shit.
Yeah, I think that is overarching as hell. Yeah. But if that's what you want to lead off with, that's cool. But yeah, I think that's overarching. That's a large piece.
Well, bro. I mean, but you know, as a man, you know, you should be able to dictate what happens in your shit. For sure, you know what I'm saying? Without any outside integers.
There's sometimes where a man and a woman have the same viewpoint. You feel me?
Yeah, but I'm not going to let an outside woman in a gynopotestal structure who comes from a gaggle or a brood parasite community that doesn't have a man structure,
right?
You know, from grandpa, great grandpa, whatever, and it just comes from a long line of single women tell us what to do in our relationship.
Now,
so
that's,
to me,
fair.
You get what I'm saying? So
you beat around the mulberry bush, but that's fair.
But what I'm saying is I don't allow that.
No, because I mean that's repetitive behavior that doesn't yield success. Exactly. So it's like, why would you mirror that?
Exactly.
For sure.
So we want to get some of the brothers' ideas on simphood, simpism, and some of the consequences to being black and having this type of mentality.
Man, I think the definition is a little. The description, I understand. The definition, that's kind of tricky. I mean, shit, because that's a definition.
Well, that's my definition.
I'm a card carrying simp. Then I mean, because like shit, like at the end of the day, everything that we do is as men. Man. There's a certain, like Jay-Z said it best, the power of the PUSSY. That's why every dude in the world dress flies. Why every sick, like so. In a sense, like, hey, if I'm going out tonight and I'm fresh to death. Yeah, I'm fresh to death because I want to be fresh to death. But there is inside of my aspiration of being fresh. It is the aspiration.
So, do you validate your manhood through the views and the eyes of a woman?
I won't necessarily say I validate my manhood, but I'll say there is the inspiration. There is an inspiration of connecting with a woman, connecting with woman, or even wanting to please women within some aspirations of wanting to do things at
At the
excellent
detriment
level.
of yourself.
No, to me, that's where simping starts. So to me, simping starts when the pleasing of a woman supersedes your own needs as a man, and you're willing to
absolutely.
compromise things that are in your best interest willingly
Because you
for
know
the
what's-
sake of
Wait,
that's
wait,
a
wait,
little,
wait,
that's a little bit different.
So hold
wait,
on.
this is where it's key though.
So let-
because that's essentially the same thing women will say about other women. If a woman is sitting there giving it more than what a man is providing, another woman will call that other woman simping. The same thing.
Well, I mean,
No.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
So,
they'll
just to open up
downgrade
some-
it socially. Yeah, they'll downgrade it
so
socially.
my first introduction to this word
Okay.
was in the 90s. This is an
Exactly.
old term. And they used to say, if you ain't pimping, you simping,
Yeah.
right? And my definition of if you're not using or you're supposed to move under the pimp's law when you're dealing with women, and if you're not doing that, you're simping.
So this is
You
why I
get what I'm
want.
saying?
So
Which
Yeah.
is a 90s thing. That's a 90s way of thinking.
yeah.
That's
You
too
get what I'm
rigid for
saying?
me. Yeah,
It's
like
not
I feel
rigid,
like
but that's where it comes from.
to me it's really
Well, no,
that's what
it's
I
not
got.
the origin. But what I'm saying is, I get what he's saying. That's why I wore the Too Short shirt, because the origin of the slang pimping comes from E40, Too Short, UE, MC. You know what I'm saying? Bay Area type of pimping.
Yeah.
That's the understanding we
too
got.
sure not the pimping though.
No, what I'm saying.
Too sure wasn't the
Hold on,
pimping.
let him finish.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the origin of the term simping goes beyond that. But what we grew up on in the 90s
Right.
was the definition that, look, if you're socialized to please a woman sexually, financially, emotionally, extending your emotional labor
Right.
without any reciprocity, and you just there to be sucked upon, then you may be a simp.
That's
No, that's simple. That's simple. Yeah, okay, that's simple. That's not
like
what
the
you said the
first
first
time.
time. That's
like the
simple.
first time
I
he's
think-
taught calculus and everybody gets it in the room at the same time.
No, I understand what you're saying there.
the
Yeah.
word he said.
I think that's a 90s view.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you're
I think that's an old view.
if you're giving out and all you're doing is extending,
So
then what are you getting in
okay,
return?
so I agree with this definition, but what I'm also
Well,
saying.
that mean you with the wrong
but
female.
wait. So this
Maybe
is what
you need
so
to get
that's
your
what I'm
simping
saying.
straight.
No, that mean
So
that's
that's-
what you choose to do.
No,
maybe,
no.
maybe this is how you deal with your women.
So this is what I was gonna say.
You got guys that deal with women strictly in that manner.
Well,
He
no,
chose to
wait,
simp.
wait.
Those are simps.
No,
But hear me
it's
out,
just
hear me out.
he chooses. Like remember when I had that argument when I'm not gonna say his name. And we were talking about meals,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he told me, I said that, when a woman is with me, she gets everything I get. Meaning that if I'm hungry and I want to eat steak 48, she gonna eat steak 48 too.
So
You
what's
know
the
what I'm saying?
reciprocity
He
to
told
that?
me that's simping.
No,
But listen. But I don't need nothing from her but her company. Because I might
So if
like
that's
her.
what you
understand what I'm
require,
saying?
if that's what you require,
That's not
great.
simping.
Then you're getting what you get from it, so it's not simping.
That's
Yeah.
not simping.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying when you're doing something and you require something but you don't get it, that's when you're simping. You're getting what you require.
yeah. If
When
all you
do-
there
when you
is
do
to
all that
please,
and you don't
Oh,
get
no,
what
that mean you
require.
with the wrong woman.
But the lack of not recognizing that, right? Like that has implications, man. That has implications on your pockets, what you could do in the future. Like you could mess around and try to wear a girl down, and then
Is
you
there
know,
a
you
way
get
to
with her,
say-
and then still it's a done deal.
Is there a way to, I guess, correlate simping to like being a sugar daddy or a trick?
we're saying the same thing, or beta male or whatever. It's all it's like
That's not.
like
I gotta disagree with that.
Okay,
The sugar daddies know exactly what they're doing and they get exactly what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah.
You don't put sugar daddies. They know
yeah.
exactly what
Kevin-
they're doing. They get exactly what
Kevin,
they're
you
doing.
can say
don't think-
Kevin Samuels is
I feel
Kevin
like
Samuels
you
is the
hear
greatest
that
trick.
stories. I feel like
Kevin
you hear
Samuels
a
is
lot
the
of
greatest
stories.
trick of all time. Kevin
That's what
Kevin
you said.
Samuels is ultimately the
what
Kevin.
you said.
Hold on, hear me out. Hold on. Kevin Samuels is the greatest trick of all time. Kevin Samuels openly supported tricking.
Yeah.
Now he supported tricking because he understood the transaction, what he was getting out of it, and he was making a conscious decision
Yeah.
as to that. So
I
I
get
can't
that.
say that
So
that's
to me,
simping.
I get that.
That would be simping.
To me,
Yeah.
simping is
Yeah, like,
there's
it's
an element of
still-
manipulation.
so hear him
Hold
out.
on. If you're paying
For the
for
attention,
time
yeah.
and attention and all
Yeah,
those things,
for sure.
you can't get it off the strength of your personality or whatever. That's simping to me.
That's prostitution.
100%.
let's go. Let's look.
Employee.
You know, I had to do the research
Yeah,
to find this shit. So the first time we ever seen simping was in the New Partridge Dictionary of Slang in the Unconventional English. It defines shortened as simpleton. Now you got SIMP and a lot of shit like simpatico, you know what I'm saying, simply, whatever the case may be, but it just means being amicable, being too friendly. Now, in the New York Times, the first time that the term simp was put into text was to describe a simpleton. So the phrase originally is rooted in calling a person stupid.
You got some years in there?
Yeah, but yeah, stupid, 1923. Now, the dictionary listed first usage in 1946. Now, the term appeared in 1923. The definition came in 1946. Now, the most recent entry dictionary is in 2000 in a book called My Once Upon a Time by a British novelist, it's a Nigerian, Darren Odebois. Simp appears 2 times in 20 pages. Now, he's saying this. Simp would have been used in the old school way, he said. No other way it's been, not the other ways it's been used, but it's to describe a soft kind of man who is very soft to his female friends. The newer sense of the word as an insult for being soft or being only sympathetic to women became more prominent in the 1980s and in the early 90s with West Coast rappers who regularly addressed pimping, including UE, the MC, Too Short, E40.
So this
Now
is
that- okay.
this is a man's view.
That's a great definition.
So that is
That clarifies.
that did, but that's also that's a man's view.
No, what he
Yeah,
said it was key
I
is
mean-
you reserve your sympathy for women.
Yes.
Now that's one thing I can say that does define it because like even the homies, you know, we got brothers in here that's married the whole nine. We have never held women to a lesser accountability standard than men, and
Yeah.
that I feel like that makes us unique as a crew. We don't take it. Now, granted, we're all gentlemen. Ain't nobody in this, at least to my knowledge,
Yeah.
ain't no woman been around us and not been treated to the highest level of her womanhood. But at the same time,
We're gentlemen.
yeah, at the same time, we're not accepting no bullshit just because you're a woman, and we're not accepting your word being broken and giving you a passes because you're a woman. So to me, that's standing firm. So we not simple.
Yeah.
But part of what Fred's definition is, or his historical etymology of it, it evolved over time.
Yeah.
It's evolving.
Yeah.
So the definition of what that really means is gonna have some change in it.
Yeah.
But for me, man, it's more geared around how a dude reacts to that. Like if you're super defensive because someone calls you a simp, to me you look the weakest any person
So
could ever
that's
look.
simping.
Yeah, you gotta at least own it. Like if you own
Hold
it,
on,
you
hold
can
on.
actually be, you know, you can walk away clean.
Hold up. We need to pause and give a shout out to the sponsors.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
the Hue
the fly
Republic.
gear that you have here behind us, Hue Republic, definitely support it. We'll definitely provide links in the bio or the information so that you can get your orders in.
And comment,
So, yeah,
man.
definitely
And
get us.
we
Yeah, for
thrive
sure,
off
for
of
sure.
comments and feedbacks
For sure.
and you know what I'm saying, and subscription. So do that. So
Oh yeah, we need you to definitely comment and subscribe.
Live all the way live, I bet you never knew that Houston, we in the house. So where we from, Houston.
This is Flash Gordon Parks. You're listening to Soul One. PeaceOfMind.com.
I got a question. Is our natural upbringing, you better put that woman first. The black woman
I'm
is
glad
God.
you're going there.
The
because
black
you
woman is
walking
God.
Into you walking into my room.
Is our natural archetype to be simps? unless we come into
We were
some knowledge.
bred into being
I'm gonna be
simps.
honest with you. Like, I definitely grew up with the concept, black women as God, but it was in tandem with black
The
men
black
as
men
God.
being God.
Yeah, so I just saw God.
But that's my ad though. That's you know what I'm
I
saying?
just saw rib. I didn't see.
this balance.
Yeah, I didn't see it as a servitude.
So I got
It's
a
like,
question.
royalty to
All right.
royalty.
So simp is a term that probably is only important to males.
Facts. No. So this is 100%. Yeah. So it's part of our grading scale. It's part of our social ranking of each other.
So
but
women-
what's interesting is women don't like us saying that about another man because they might have a different value system.
So I
and
think-
they'll say,
but
"Oh,
you remember
why
last
is
time
he
we had a
simp or this?"
conversation-
And it's like, no, that's not for y'all. This is for us to judge.
Okay.
This our arena, and that really throws women off a lot of times. for sure.
And you have the ones that are easily influenced by listening to what males say about other males, and they're using it in the
So
wrong
what does
context.
women do?
So,
So
that
we had
shows
a
you that
term.
they even care what we think about they man.
So
they
we
gonna
had-
love
Not-
him, but
well,
if we
not
don't
that,
respect them, they don't like
But
it.
they might not be using it in the same context.
Yeah, but what I'm
yeah.
saying is
because we're using simp as a term is like, bro, you weak around women. That's not necessarily saying you're a weak man.
no.
It's saying that
you can
man,
change.
you're weak around women, but when women use it, it would be like you're a weak man. That's
Yeah,
how they're using it.
but we're
in the
having a
context.
safe
You
house
understand what I'm
conversation.
saying?
You know what I'm saying? We having a safe house. So we
No.
look. What I'm saying is that they have a
I think
term
they
that
think
women
they
use when
think
women are weak
we-
behind
they don't
men.
like
We
our
talked about it. You
terminology
remember?
for
Call them
simp.
pygmies.
Yeah.
I don't think they don't
yes.
like our terminology for simp.
So women have a term
Right,
called what?
they like
Pygmies.
that kind of man.
They don't. But
They want more men
but the
like
ones
him.
that do use it don't necessarily understand the context.
Yeah.
They're using it
But-
as
but I'm-
you a simp, like you're weak.
Yeah.
Not that you're.
But that's why we're
Hold
doing.
on.
But that's why we're talking about it.
But don't just watch, don't just like, comment.
Exactly.
We need to hear from you. We want to see your thoughts.